So I've decided to bring you guys a new time-lapse of an oil painting I've done a while ago. And as you can see, I pretty much start off the same always. I start off with a sketch done in pencil just because I'm lazy. I don't want to be wasting paint. I know it actually might make my life easier, but I don't really want to. For this painting, since I'm working mainly with browns and grays and greens, I've decided to put all my oil paints together. That way it will be easier to get different shades of brown. Because normally I like to put some space between my paints so I can get different shades of that same color, but since I'm going to work mainly with grays and browns, I've decided to put them all in one side of my palette and just start using the mixes on the rest of the palette. So as you can see, I've started first with the background just because I want it to be a diffused one. I want it to be kind of blurry. And I've been spending maybe 10 minutes on this. It's just putting a bunch of paint and start mixing it together until I get the color that I want. So then once I'm happy with the background, I will start applying different layers of different colors, and I just place them very closely together. I'm not using too much quantity of paint. I know it seems on camera, it seems like I've used a bunch, but I actually want this painting to be quite fast, and in order to achieve that, I've realized that it's easier to put small quantities of paint very close to each other and then start blending them very little, and it will dry right away, than using big blobs and then having to wait forever for them to dry. Anyways, this painting has been done in 2 stays or in 2 tries. I don't know how to say it. So the first time that I've been painting, I've painted about 37 minutes in very little time. I will show you guys actually the exact time and the reference I'm using for this bird. So it has been done in 2 stays. One was about 37 minutes and the second was a bit more than 40 minutes. So as you can see, I'm starting off with browns just because they're the easiest to mix and we can always make adjustments. And then I'm starting off with oranges. Now, this color has always been scaring me so much just because it's so easy to mess it up and it is so easy to turn it into browns. So it actually did take me a little bit of thinking, but as you can see, I'm doing it with slow movements, and I think that you can also see that for this part of the painting I'm actually using more quantity of paint than I've been using for the background, just because I also want to give some texture to my bird. Now, as you guys can see, and as you probably already know, I'm a noob in this. I'm still learning, and I've just taken oil painting less than a year ago, and I actually fell in love with it right away. I've been really scared of doing it for the longest time. It's always been in the back of my mind, but I've always thought it would be too much money and it would be too much time, and I'm not a very patient person to say so when it comes to painting. But then I finally decided to take up some oil painting and just go with it, and I actually quite enjoy it. I do find a bit bothersome the having to wait so much for the layers to dry, but as you can see, it's been growing on me. So a few seconds ago you guys have seen the reference. I've actually used that in my sketchbook as a small sketch, and then I've decided to turn it into an oil painting just for fun and just for practice. So robins, red-breasted robins, are birds that you can't really see in Spain where I live, except in winter. And what I used to do to be able to catch glimpses of these birds and to get them, I used to put them grains on a trunk and just leave my camera there for the longest time, and I would just have to wait and wait and wait until maybe one would turn up. But as soon as I would look towards them, or I would try to take a picture of them, they would just fly away. I think they're gorgeous birds, and by now you probably know that my favorite study, I don't know how to call it, my favorite study subject are birds. And unfortunately, I cannot have as many as I wish. And I know looking them up on the internet would be kind of stealing, so I'm trying not to do that. And well, for now, you guys will just have to bear with me and just see a bunch of sparrows and a bunch of red-breasted robins and some magpies maybe, and chicken. Well, I hope you guys like. As you can see, I still struggle with blending the colors. I still struggle with the claws of the birds, and well, I'm still growing, and I hope you guys don't mind that. Let me know if you have any advice for me about what I should do, or what would be better, what should I use, and how should I make my life easier. And meanwhile, I hope you guys enjoy just as much as I did painting this. And I'll see you in the next tutorial. Bye. Oh, by the way, I'm still growing, so please share these videos with your friends and with your families, and well, if you want to have a laugh, I wouldn't mind that either. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and thank you.